Happy Tuesday. Glad you could join us. I'm Kenesha Dees. The big chill has hit the Tennessee Valley, and from overnight, it only seems to be colder now. Our chief meteorologist, Jordan Dressman, will give us an update. But first, let's take a look at what's closed and now see what's closed ahead of tomorrow. Huntsville Transit will only run its access transportation for dialysis patients. Cities of Huntsville and Madison County offices will remain closed today. Marshall Space Flight Center and Redstone Arsenal are closed today. Only Gate 9 will remain open for emergency crews. For a look at more closures, visit fox54.com. Let's look at our roads too. The Madison County Sheriff's Office sharing that a disabled 18-wheeler has blocked the eastbound lanes just west of Old Gurley Road. Highway 72 East in that area has been closed until further notice. In Coleman County, lots of disabled cars this morning caused roads to be blocked. The northbound lanes of I-65 near exit 316 to exit 298 in Coleman County are currently closed and will be until further notice. AlDOT's update this morning shared that much of North Alabama roads are frozen or have icy patches. AlDOT says crews are working on treating roads, but drivers should expect those roads to remain hazardous. All right, now we're on to school closures. UNA is closed and has canceled all classes today. Athens State University is closed. All classes that can meet virtually today will do so. And UAH will be under remote operations today. Also, Calhoun Community College will have a virtual learning day. For a complete list of school closures, text schools to 256-382-2692. All right, let's finally check in with our chief meteorologist, Jordan Dressman. Jordan, when can we expect these icy conditions to get better?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think the icy conditions are going to go away very, very quickly. It's going to be a gradual process. It's going to take a little bit of time. The good news about today is that we are actually getting a little bit of sunshine across the Tennessee Valley. And while it's going to be incredibly cold this afternoon, I think that is going to be of benefit to us. Let's look at current conditions as far as the roads are concerned across the Tennessee Valley. For the most part, we're talking about snow-covered roadways across Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin County, across northern Limestone County, northern Madison County, and then up across southern Middle Tennessee. But I don't want you to take this and think that every single road is going to be snow-covered. As a matter of fact, I'm sure there has been some improvement on some of the major roadways where there has been a little more traffic this morning. At other times, though, it's important to remember that we are talking about icy roadways across southern Madison County, Morgan County, down into Coleman County. But again, to further emphasize that we're seeing a little bit of improvement. As a matter of fact, I think this graphic just updated. We are beginning to get some reports of just some wet roadways across northwest Alabama and then maybe even up across southern Middle Tennessee. So this is something we're going to continue to pay attention to and monitor. And of course, that's something you should continue to pay attention to and monitor as well. Always monitor those roadways. And you can check AlDOT's website before going out and about if you must go out and about this afternoon. I must insist that you stay home, mostly because it's bitter cold across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures currently sitting somewhere in the teens, wind chills well down into the single digits. 15 feels like 3 at the Huntsville International Airport. 15 feels like 2 in Athens. 16 feels like 4 in Florence. 16 feels like 5 right now in Russellville. I will also tell you that if you're expecting somebody to come in on a flight this afternoon, I believe the Huntsville International Airport is having problems getting planes in and out. So make sure to check the Huntsville International Airport's website for the latest updates there. Wind chill warnings and wind chill advisories remain in place across the Tennessee Valley. A wind chill warning in place for Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, Lawrence, Limestone, and Madison counties in North Alabama, and then Lincoln County up across southern Middle Tennessee. Wind chill advisory is going to be in place for Giles County up across southern Middle Tennessee, and then Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties, as well as Coleman County in North Alabama. It's going to be another bitterly cold night across the Tennessee Valley. As a matter of fact, the cold air is going to stick with us at least until we get a small break on Thursday, but I'll continue to provide you with those updates as we progress further into the afternoon and eventually on Fox 54 News at 5:30. For now, we'll send it back over to Kenesha.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Let's also take a look outside with Fox 54's Simon Williams and Nick Kuzma, who are both out in Florence right now. Guys, it's day 2. How's it looking out there?
Hey, Kenesha, I'm struggling with the glare out here, and that's honestly one of the biggest signs of this morning is that because we have all this ice on the ground, the sunshine is coming down and glaring off this ice. I'm having a hard time even just looking at the camera. That's how much glare is coming off. And as I'm going to show you here, I'm at the intersection of State Route 13 and Clark Street here in Muscle Shoals. You see the difference between these two streets. We've got State Route 13 where there is some traffic. What is normally a 2-lane highway on each way is kind of just condensed into 1 lane each way. And then we've got Clark Street on my left, is your right, back at home. You see the difference between a state route and a neighborhood road. Look how this street here, Clark Street, has not been plowed at any point recently. That's because it's a local road. It's a neighborhood road. And it's just the traffic of local drivers, small sedans, and even some ATVs, so some folks who've been driving around. That's what's caused the indentation in the roads, as opposed to State Route 13, which you originally saw has been plowed a few times and has been driven through. And you see the actual original concrete and on the street there. So that's the conditions here in Muscle Shoals. Jordan did say it was really cold, and it feels even colder. We are in those sub-freezing temperatures. So it's going to be one of those days where if you are out walking the dog, trying to get some fresh air from being inside, take all your clothes, bundle up, but don't take your car and drive out on the streets because we're dealing with those icy conditions still. All right, in Muscle Shoals, Simon Williams, Fox 54 News.
All right, thank you, Simon. Stay warm, and thank you for the road update. We'll be back at 1 p.m. for an update, but stay with fox54.com. We're going to toss things back over to regular programming. Thank you. I was trying to get a picture of you, like, doing the forecast while your bed was here, but I was afraid that I'd be back on cam.
Simon and Nick aren't there anymore? Oh. Well. The concept of the Huntsville International Airport shutting down is truly something that befuddles me. Might be worth a brief little mention. It was just me randomly talking, more or less. As I sit here and ponder the meaning of life.
And I'll be ready to go back in about 5 minutes.
20
Less
bucks
than
says
that.
I beat you in a sled race.
Oh
Every
my
time.
God, you are so
You got a
competitive.
sled?
I know. Everything in my life is a competition. It really is true.
I'm a lot of things, but one of them is a daredevil, so you're on.
Who do you think wins? Who do you think wins? My money is on. Because I'm sitting there calculating the thermodynamics.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
Yours is not on.
I think it's just going to be me.
For digital, it's both of us.
All right, then Nick's coming in too.
I don't
check,
care
check,
who it
check,
is.
check.
You both
Do it
can
again.
hang out.
Mic check 1, 2.
Yep, they should have that.
It's both on manual, set to the different inputs. Both on different mics. Yeah, it's as specific as it can get. Well, Nick's gonna be in it. It's gonna be 2 of us, actually. All right.
Check, 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 check. Nick, mic check 1, 2, 2. Nick, mic check 1, mic check, mic check.
Mic check 1, 2. Microphone check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Nick 1, 2. Nick, mic check 1, 2, 1, 2. Nick, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, sure.
How does the shot look? Because we changed locations. Okay. Yes. How does that look? Okay.
Need to wipe down the camera when we're done with this. It's got spots on it.
Hey, good morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Thanks so much for joining us. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update as to what we're seeing across the Tennessee Valley. Thankfully, many of us are getting to enjoy a little bit of sunshine today. Now, that sunshine, of course, is going to be incredibly deceiving, but it could help even in the littlest of ways, despite the fact that we are so bitterly cold across the Tennessee Valley. I want to show you current road conditions across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and believe it or not, we are beginning to see a lot of improvement across Northwest Alabama, and this is certainly quite a bit of good news. At this point, we're going from snow-covered roads over in Northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, and Lawrence counties, to at this point, clean roadways, or just simply put, wet roadways. Now, this is not the case everywhere, so this does not mean that everybody needs to be going out and getting in their car and driving. And even over across Northwest Alabama, this doesn't necessarily mean all of the local roads are showing improvement. It's the more well-traveled, the state routes, the U.S. routes that are going to be the roads that see some improving conditions. We're still talking about snow-covered roads across Limestone and portions of Madison County, snow-covered roadways up across southern Middle Tennessee, and then we're still talking about icy roads across a good chunk of the Tennessee Valley. As a matter of fact, a good chunk of northeast Alabama, southern Madison County, Morgan County, all of Coleman County, those folks still talking about ice-covered roadways. But I want to elaborate more on the conditions out in Northwest Alabama, and that is where we once again today find my friends Simon Williams and Nick Kuzma, who are once again battling the bitter cold, but I see blue sky behind them, so maybe they're in better spirits today, knowing they're not getting iced on. Guys, how are you doing this morning?
Cold is one way to put it. It is bitter, it's freezing. And thankfully, though, there's no wind, Nick. It's actually not terrible, all things considered.
It's funny. I'd actually almost rather it be snowing because that's like kind of fun to look at. Other than that, right now it's sunny and just kind of miserable because it's so cold.
Yeah, but you feel the difference, Jordan, like you said. That sun does make a little bit of a difference. You're just standing out doing a live hit just a few moments ago in the sun, and it felt distinctly different than being here in a shaded area where we are, but we had to move because the glare off the ice is so strong. I think if you guys are driving at all today and you're going to be moving from your local road, hopefully to take the interstate or a state road, if you need to maybe go to the grocery store or run to the pharmacy or check on a relative, you want to make sure you're prioritizing those more well-trafficked roads. But if you are on that local road, you might get some glare, so certainly still take your time.
Sunglasses too and sun visors.
Yeah, you would think, right? Like, why would I need sunglasses in the snow? You think sunglasses summertime,
Super bright.
But it's really, really helpful at this time of year with this exact condition.
So we were talking about this a little while ago, and some of the roads there over in northwest Alabama, and you kind of hinted at it, encouraging people to take some of the state routes, have actually seen a little bit of improvement, right?
Yeah, I mean, the State Department of Transportation has been coming through with some plows this morning on state roads, and that's kind of protocol. We knew that the federal roads and then the state roads were going to be the top two priorities for each of the state's respective Department of Transportation, and then the local municipalities from the county level on down. So we knew that was going to be the case, and you can certainly see it. We also can hear it, too. The cars driving on State Route 13 here, right just outside, they're not driving through slush and ice. You're not hearing that crunch that you would in the early hours of maybe today when it was freezing over a little bit.
No, it's truly night and day between the state routes right now and the local, more residential streets. And remember, Jordan, yesterday I picked up that snow and there was that little bit of a powdery top. Let me just demonstrate right now. I can't pick it up at all. We're talking about, excuse me, microphone would help, right? You can't pick anything up right now. It is straight ice on top, and it actually feels weird to walk on because you're used to maybe that powdery top that you think, oh, let me go build a snowman, let me do a snow angel. Right now, you'd be doing an ice angel, and you'd probably just be hurting your elbows in the back of your neck.
That was good. I have no idea how I'm supposed to respond to that line.
Yeah,
but,
figure it out, Jordan. How do you possibly beat Ice Angel? Come on now.
There is absolutely no way to figure that out. The only way I can think to figure that out is to thank you so much for your guys' help over there in northwest Alabama. We'll check back in with you guys later. I'm going to let you go in and get warm because, yes, it is bitter cold, and you're right. As long as it's going to be bitterly cold, maybe, hey, at least it could be snowing. I want to show you current temperatures across the Tennessee Valley, and then I'm going to let you guys get back to your Tuesday afternoon activities, whatever those activities involve at this point since everything's canceled. 15 feels like 3 at the Huntsville International Airport. That is the current temperature and then the wind chill. 16 feels like 2 in Athens. 16 feels like 4 in Scottsboro. 16 feels like 4 in Florence. 14 feels like 4 in Pulaski. Now, I'm going to leave you with this thought. If you have anybody that's coming in on a flight from the Huntsville International Airport, the Huntsville International Airport is actually having some problems getting flights in and out this afternoon. So that's something we're going to continue to pay attention to as well in hopes that they can get some improving conditions out at the Huntsville International Airport. But in the meantime, stay inside, stay warm. While some of the state routes are beginning to show a little bit of improvement across the Tennessee Valley, roads are still going to be treacherous, so travel is definitely not advised. In the meantime, I am going to bid you farewell for now. Enjoy the rest of your day.